Hello, viewers. I'm SB.
I am Amabel.
Okay, we get there eventually. That's the important part. And welcome back to Amabel auditing this game of Civilization 7, which I guess I'm also doing because at this point we are further forward than any other game that I've played of this. Where we
Oh, I,
are,
I didn't realize
we
that.
are pushing forward on this culture victory and this economic victory at the same time, and I guess kind of on the science victory in the sense that we're continuing to do research. The only thing I'm not really thinking about is this ideology nonsense.
Yeah, that's good.
It's interesting.
I
It's interesting
prefer
how
that.
how it specifically gives value to very late game military play. Like you actually don't. It's not very efficient in terms of progress toward the victory to do military stuff until after you are significantly down the civics tree. So it's sort of a combined culture and military victory path. And that's especially interesting because like the good military units come from science, right? So, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think that's interesting. Let's go. So we're trying to dig up relics. We need like 7 relics, and we have like 5 or 6
Yes, we were at
explorers.
8.
Yeah, we have
Yeah.
5 or 6 explorers out there doing the thing right now. It'll only take 3 more museums. I did not look up the plural. This fucking volcano. It'll only take 3 more museums to hold all that, so I'm not too like we're gonna have room for it. But then we have to build the project, and one assumes there is the risk of the other players in the game at that point deciding that they would prefer you not win, right?
Yeah.
There's no reason for me to do anything here. You're just holding the oil. You can start extracting. I wonder if we'll get a different text block. Lafayette has become democratic. I guess, yeah, one benefit to not bothering with the ideology stuff quickly is we can kind of let the teams line up and then just position ourselves so that we are getting the least static from everyone around us. Join an ideology as a way of not having to worry about this crap while we win the game.
Yeah, I mean that's
Hey, look, that mine I just built next to the active volcano got damaged somehow. Who would have thought?
all these things, like I don't have an issue with these individual mechanisms of things that they are not modeling. The issue is that they're not modeling it. The issue is that they're not making an argument with it. I've said this before. I will say it. I will say it again.
So notice
Like,
Batuta has another explorer on another. I think he can see these, which is wild because his civics progress has been so much slower than everybody else's. For like when we came into the age, it was really low, wasn't it? And he's got it up now. His science is really
yeah,
great. It's weird. Anyway, sorry, I'm cutting you
the
off.
plural, the plural of museum
Yeah.
is either museums or musea. Musea has always been very rare in English, according to my friend Professor Wiktionary.
Okay. Sure, that makes sense. It feels a little odd coming out, although it does. It obviously obeys some grammatical rules. All right, I got to make sure that I'm remembering to buy factories and assign things. So here we would love production toward naval units, probably not so much. Faster healing, bonus culture. This city does produce a lot of culture. Oh, there's something to be said for growth rate as a culture producer as well, because part of the way this city produces culture is that it's growing population. But you know what? Let's do this. And then am I allowed to... Okay, no, it takes the slot. And also it's the factory resource, I see. Okay. Now we're getting 2 points per turn.
All right.
And we're building another factory in Ravenna. We're going to keep purchasing them in other places. We're gonna ramp up quickly, but you end up having to get to a pretty large number of overall points, right? It's like 500. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think this will still be considerably slower than the digging.
Yeah.
Other players, explorers, they're all up in our. You know what? Maybe everybody knows, but we're still getting to start our digs, and I think the moment you start digging, it removes it for other players. How many explorers does Lafayette have coming over here? Holy hell! Okay, river flooding, damage significant.
It has been like one every turn for like the last 10, 15 turns.
And the thing is, like, yeah, they're individually they're so small, and fixing them is so minor. Like, it just doesn't. It doesn't really seem like it. It doesn't feel like it matters, and you never care when it happens. It's never like, oh no. It's just like, okay, got to remember to press the spend 16 gold button.
I also really hate the kind of mush of, we're in this kind of extra long 19th century.
Yeah.
And like, because the political and industrial concerns of the 19th century are quite different than the early 20th, and a lot the kind of overlaps, because the thing is
sure, you do have to mash it down somehow,
chronologically,
right? Like, I guess the question I would have for you. Oh, look, the text is different. Archaeologists have discovered a site from the Antiquity Age. After conducting careful excavation, they unearthed an Egyptian drum. Like, I guess the question I would ask you is, if you were told you have to jam it down to like three sort of like mechanical turning points for the sake of the scoreboard design, right? The way they want to like break this into modules. Like, do you think these are the three you would choose?
The three I would, I would either, and granted, this is why they wouldn't let me do this, and I wouldn't do it, but I would either have three eras that end right around, say, the Westphalian the Westphalian settlement, or start from there, kind of going forward, or start from like medieval period going forward. The kind of ancient era, and then the medieval, and also Renaissance, and also early modern era, all being one era in the middle, is real gloopy and silly.
Yeah.
And then the thing about this is that, like, one of the core things about industrialization, I feel, is that it accelerated the pace of development and history, where things happen faster. 10 years did not used to be a lot of history back in the day.
Sure.
10 years now is like a whole completely different era, right? And I feel like I would want to lean into that, where I would want to have the 19th century being a distinct era from like the 20th on.
Okay.
But that would require more than just three eras.
Yeah.
More than just three turning points. But they already start with like a pace of the thing where, I mean, the years the turns correlate to are nonsense. And it seems like they always kind of have been.
Mm-hmm.
But
and then a
turn now is like
they just start coming and they don't stop coming.
Yeah. The turns at the present moment are 1 year, but when we started, it was what, 10 years, 20 years, something crazy like that.
Yeah, and listen, I'm familiar with this idea in a number of different forms. Not least of them like Moore's Law. Things are not just getting weirder; they're getting weirder faster. But like, to a certain extent, I do wonder, like, how much of that do you think is sort of the view from here? Like, do you think the people in 1900 BC felt like, gosh, there's a lot of shit happening? Do you think they had their own version of the "It's Wednesday" lemon meme? Right, like it feels to us
Is
like a
Wednesday
lot more.
Lemon?
It feels to us like there's a lot more history now because we only pay attention to the largest things from that long ago because we only know about the largest things. But like,
I mean,
surely,
yeah. I mean,
surely,
there's
lots
a
of
degree to which,
lots of stuff has always been happening.
yeah, but there's a degree of presentism here, but there also is the sense of like the printing press, came about in the 1500s, 1400s. That's not actually a period of history I'm real deep into,
Mhm.
but it kind of revolutionized a lot of stuff. It was a big deal for literacy and the spread of information, and we have a new printing press like every 10 or 15 years now.
Sort of, except not
Is what
really,
it
right? Like,
is what it feels like.
sort of, except not like extremely, not really, right? And to a certain extent, you could like it could absolutely have been the same. We don't have a new printing press. We have a fucking new microblogging platform, right?
Okay, I
Nobody's
mean
gonna
that's a little bit
remember.
more
Nobody's gonna
granular than
remember
I
that.
was.
Well, but this is what I'm talking about. Like, it seems like that to you
Yeah,
because you're familiar with them now. Nobody's gonna remember the difference in 100 years, and they're gonna be like, "Wow, technological progress has really sped up, hasn't it?"
yeah, and I wonder how much of that too has to do with development of mass media and the use of the monoform. If I want to get into like my Peter Watkins kick here, where things feel faster because information is presented in a way that's much faster.
Yeah,
You know,
sure.
yeah. I mean, those are fair points, and certainly if you were to ask people, during the 30 Years' War, how much history was happening in those 30 years, it was a lot, and it was all bad. You know, but good point, sweetheart.
Is it? I
I
honestly have
still
no
feel
idea.
like I still feel like 3 eras is a ridiculous way to sum all this up.
Well, I think for sure, at least part of that is they looked at what a game of Civ currently effectively is, right? Because we talked about how um, they
Yeah,
are just making mechanically explicit forms that were already very present.
and it's also, of course, a very Western Eurocentric
Yeah, absolutely.
view of historical eras. But like, I don't know, you could break it up a little more. You could even break each of these big eras into like two smaller eras and find a way to mechanically distinguish them and have it not bug me as much. Here's the thing. I am optimizing for this to not bug me as much
Yeah,
and not
yeah, yeah,
piss me
yeah.
off as much. And which is not your cue to buy a Jacobin. It's just I'm I'm just so
So there are definitely
let
some
me
there are
tell
some
you.
places where we don't have a museum and I can't buy one, and we do need one more museum. And I'm not 100% sure which museum prerequisite it is that I don't have in these settlements. Because like our museums right now are Aquileia, Roma, Machu Picchu, and Cusco. So like Ravenna, I should be able to buy a museum in Ravenna. Yeah, okay.
Okay. About to say you want to look up in the Civipedia, but they might even have the word museum. Who knows?
I don't think the Civilopedia is all that bad in this one for the most part. There are certainly previous games in which I have thought it was less useful, but this one is missing some big important pages for sure.
And it does feel like it does feel like I'm slamming because a lot of stuff I'm complaining about here is not high level design stuff so much as like the UI and the civ and that stuff that someone on the line implemented, and I don't want to.
Yeah, with a
I
with a
understand.
with a deadline hanging over their head
And crunch and all that. Like, yeah. So I'm not trying to be.
some suit at 2K
I
who
I
doesn't know anything about software development going, "Wizard, make the magic faster." Like,
yeah. So I don't want to be too critical. I understand that it is hard and it is work, and sometimes you are given an impossible task.
I have personally
But
been the make the magic faster person in a situation
yeah.
like this. It really sucks. Like your boss thinking that you are a wizard is a real double-edged sword. To be fair, my boss did not work in like it was not. My boss was not a software executive. He was a trucking executive, and they did not. They really did not know stuff about software. Let me tell you.
But you did, one positive of that job, you did learn about different units of measure.
I sure did.
And that's been useful in your everyday life.
There is only one good thing in life, and that is love.
I'll tell you. I know more about Firkins than anyone should ever have to. The advent of powered human flight has taken human conflict to the skies. Air units are incredibly powerful weapons of war, allowing the attacker to strike targets on the ground and bombard cities from great distances. There are 3 types: bombers, which good for city attacks; attackers, designed for attacking land units and naval units; and fighters, good for fighting other air units. That's true. I did just learn flight.
This is at least 40 years too early.
Well, what are you going to do?
Pedantic.
Okay, what's your actual complaint there? Right? Like,
I don't. I just. Here's the thing. There's so many of these little things that have bugged me that is getting harder and harder to let the rest roll off that I should just be able to accept.
The beauty of electricity is not that the power is mysterious, but that it is under law, and that the taught intellect can even now govern it.
I guess that's a good point there, Michael Faraday. Thank you. So yeah, at this point it's just
That guy
like
was really into cages.
that's it. That's the bit. You want to like develop that a little bit. It's just like I know that name and also the word cage together. Amabel.
That guy's really into chastity. Is that better?
Not
better or worse?
Not the problem. I was saying just kind of you want to come at it a little more sideways. You want there to be a little bit more realization on the part of the listener. I guess is where I was coming from.
I don't know what a Faraday cage is or how it works.
Okay, so that's going to limit your ability to.
I'm not equipped to do that.
Yeah, fair enough. All right. Like, how much of this stuff do I care about? We're getting to the point where I'm going to have to start researching. I want preservation science. Teach me about globalism. We're getting to the point where I'm going to have to pick an ideology, and I don't really want to, so I'm trying my best to delay it.
Yeah.
Okay. Go grab that one now.
I mean, you know which one I would pick if it actually reflected actual ideology, and that'd be communism. But this, I don't.
We only need one more to unlock the thing.
Okay.
10% production toward the World's Fair Wonder per cultural legacy point. So we capped cultural legacy points in the second era. I'm trying to remember now back to this game's first era. What is the cultural legacy thing in the first era? Wonders is wonder building. We did not cap that here. So we will not have the cheapest possible version of the thing. Okay, well there we go. We just did it. So yeah, it just takes you to the page for this. Okay.
Okay.
Player completes the World's Fair Wonder will immediately win a cultural victory. I assume that when I start building it, it's going to broadcast to everybody that I'm doing it. Other leaders may be close to victory, and whoever finishes first will win. Yeah. That's a good point. What I should do is look at the rankings So we are the only people at 15. We are the only people anywhere near a cap on any of this stuff. We are
Okay.
not going to get outraced. We might get murdered, but we're not going to get outraced. I think it behooves us to keep scooping up these things so that nobody else can have them. And then, yeah, just the highest production city starts doing the thing. We're building the red fort here. I guess we let that finish. But this is got to be our most productive city, right? 59, 57, 68, 65, 65. So we have a couple of places that we could like tune up for it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's Roma. Like,
Yeah.
we could replace some of these resources, but it's Roma. We have enough money this turn to buy another factory. And I should. Factory can go here. And then we can go to Patavium and we can assign... I don't know. What's Patavium putting out? Kind of nothing. I like, in a lot of ways, I really just haven't bothered to develop the towns. The towns just kind of stand. They're like land placeholders, and that's working just fine for us. So yeah, it's gonna be Roma. So, World's Fair, 24 turns, really? Doesn't it feel like it should be longer? So is it really just gonna like? Is it gonna let me win while the turn timer is at like 50%? While the era timer is at like 50%? And there are probably some things we can reconfigure here to tighten this timer up.
To speed it up, yeah.
Next time we get a oh, there's a war declared. Lafayette has declared war on Ibn Battuta, which I guess
cold. But we have Saki and the hot spring.
might mean I'm at war with Battuta.
Is the place we prove real by dying in it.
Is this the place where you need that light? Does that make sense there? Next to the mountain and the big fortress? Obviously there's something they could do, but it's just funny. Alright, yeah, so... It kind of feels like nothing we do matters in a lot of places. An ally is at war. Okay, so we do have to either declare our support or bail on the alliance. I don't want to be at war right now.
Yeah.
But also, at the same time, being at war with Ibn Battuta probably costs us nothing. He has very little adjacency to us. It seems like a big distraction, though. I can't see there being much benefit to staying in that alliance at this point.
Well, what if he goes and brings you more ships and soon the balance shifts?
I'll just assume that's a very funny reference you're making.
That's the Hamilton reference. It's not funny, no.
Is Hamilton not funny? People talk about it like it's...
Oh, no, but my reference was not funny.
Oh, the
but,
reference
like,
wasn't funny. Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, like I did not do a good job. Like
So at this point, all the gold we have left is just purchasing things that produce hammers for Roma, right?
Yeah. The Lafayette and Hamilton. The thing is, like, there's so much that's cool about Lafayette that just is not there. They ignore it because of course they do. But the Lafayette song is actually a banger. It's good. It's good. I like it.
Okay.
Good job. A banger means it's good, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Let's see here. Here in the capital, we can afford to trade out a couple of things. We really don't need all this happiness. The capital's got a ton of happiness resources. It was pretty miserable when we started the era, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Let me shuffle out all the things that aren't producing industry here. Okay, so whales and stuff.
Whales and coffee, of course.
Tobacco is 6 production in a city with a rail station, which this is. But I mean,
Okay.
really, it could just be whales. It could just be whales, or whales are just 6 production no matter what. The whole fucking economy runs on whale oil like it's Dishonored out here. And then, I don't know, just put things in spaces. It doesn't, so much of this doesn't matter anymore. The only thing we're doing is, you know, this one maximalization, and then we press end turn a lot.
Yeah, that's. I mean,
I'm out here trying to steal. I'm out here trying to steal artifacts from the other players to prevent them from getting. Ooh hey, the friend. Trying to prevent the other players from being able to get the same early victory type, I guess.
Yeah, the problem with any game with a definite, predictable victory or end condition is at a certain point you stop doing the stuff that narratively would make sense for running a polity. And I don't know how to fix that, or if it's something that people actually want to be fixed.
Yeah, if it matters enough to put the effort in.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so we did not manage to get even 1 turn off of the production, or did we get 1 turn? Was it 23 before, and now it's 22? No, now it's 17. They recalculated. Okay. I was going to say, I thought we added quite a lot of hammers there. Oh, Augustus made peace with Harriet Tubman. They've been at war this whole time, huh? I didn't even notice. Harriet Tubman has declared war on Lafayette. Okay. Close one front before opening another. Smart, smart.
Just as the rain breaks through an ill-thatched house, so passion penetrates an undeveloped mind.
Wow.
Hey, fix your fucking character set, y'all. I don't know what character you wanted to display there, but I know it ain't that one. Not surprised, just disappointed. Make me a fucking dreadnought. I need boats. I've decided. All right, and then we continue to, in Roma, just purchase hammers. 25 hammers? You got it. Build it over a building that produces culture? I will absolutely do that. There are signs of ancient immense ambition dating to antiquity under these foundations. Something meant to stand the test of time, but went unfinished. +1 artifact, but minus a bunch of culture. No, we're good, actually. Thanks, though. All right, 13 turns. That's starting to look pretty good.
Yeah.
They did not... It's... I don't want to shoot my mouth off a lot being like, they did not do thing when I don't know for sure that they didn't do thing. But it feels an awful lot like they did not really test the amount of time it was going to take these things compared to each other. Because this one is so much faster than...
Yeah.
Augustus is communist, okay. All right. Ibn Battuta made peace with Friedrich, who he apparently was also at war with. We've not been paying attention to the war. We kind of had our head down on our own paper a lot here.
The well-being of faraway strangers should be no less of a concern than our immediate neighbors.
Yeah. Hey, do we have any policies that will help with the thing here? No, not really. +6 influence per turn is not bad, but I don't know that I would change any of this stuff out for it. Yeah. No, we're good. We stole 2100 culture. And by stole, we mean cloned, because it didn't actually influence her in any way. Like, she doesn't lose anything. also this mountain. The city of Vienna just sort of like barely holding back this empire here. I don't really have strong feelings about what to pick up next here. Does any of this do anything? What we need is like stuff that produces hammers, right?
Yeah.
Post-production toward naval units. So I guess this is the point where we were like looking at these and going, well, communism, hammers. Fascism is where the hammers are.
I don't care for that.
The thing is, in 2 turns, we could have the assembly line, which is fascist social policy. Interesting. What an interesting thing they've done there.
I mean,
I don't
that's
disagree.
accurate for Henry Ford.
Well,
Yeah,
like I think like ideologically, when you think about what the assembly line is, like I think actually they're right on there. Fucking good work, Civ team. Let it never be said that we do not give credit where credit is due. Is there an easy way for me to see like what the lineups are on that?
I just wish I felt like
Ideologically speaking,
I knew they were doing it on purpose.
yeah.
You know.
All right, ideologies. You got. Where's ideologies? Nowhere is ideology. There's like obvious ideologies. Ideologies is the name of one of his agendas, but that's the only place that appears here.
No, it definitely should give you that information.
It should be very surfaced, yeah. Okay, so he actually has one. Ibn Battuta just doesn't have one yet. So our nearest neighbor is a communist. 2 of our nearest neighbors are communist. So both of the players that we have like extensive border contact with are communists.
The communists do have the music.
Yeah, bonus science, bonus food from specialists is generally good. And none of this stuff hurts our ability to produce. It's not like we're removing hammers.
Yeah.
So we could do that, but what that really makes me want to do is just not bother. Just go focus on something else.
Yeah.
Sure. We'll do that for 1 turn. Ravenna. Says Ravenna has a factory, but doesn't have a slot for a factory good.
Do you need a rail station in Ravenna for that?
Oh, maybe Ravenna's not connected by rail. No, Ravenna's definitely connected by rail. I'm pretty sure. Let's see. Am I allowed? Okay, so yeah, it just needs.
Okay.
Just has to be a slot open. Ravenna, you are going to produce land units, I guess, if it comes to it. Not that I super care about that. Like, but you know, in theory, somebody might start some shit. Austrian has been defeated. I guess that's an independent people probably.
Yeah.
But obviously, like a little string builder error there. I'm actually gonna just remove this explorer from the game. We're good on you there, friend. There's nothing left for you to do. There's sometimes no surer sign of human civilization than a land soaked with blood, set of tools, etc. You still have stuff to search for. We have a guy on that one already. Those 2 are right next to each other. Congratulations. I'm also tired of giving you orders. All right, this next turn, I believe we'll be able to buy more, to purchase more hammers in the capital.
Okay.
We should probably just go ahead and research communism just to just to keep everybody on side.
Yeah.
Beauty.
We had a turn or two with no eruptions there. I can't complain too much, I suppose. All right. Research communism. Everybody in your salons, think about communism really hard. Put your hands to the side of your wigs and just like do it so hard you vibrate.
God, are there any video games set during the Paris Commune?
Oh, I don't
would
know.
love to play something like that.
Yeah, I don't know. My guess is probably not.
People in the chat, if you're aware of any video games about the Paris Commune, 1871, put it in the put it in a comment. Like and subscribe. Click the bell. Click the bell about it.
Yeah, click the bell about it. Is the bell a thing still? Do they still have that?
I don't know. I've never done it.
I can't remember the last time I saw the little bell. But I don't, if I'm honest, I'm not a very good YouTube. As you all know. Get deleted. Tired of giving you orders. As you all well know, I'm not very good at YouTube.
You are better than...
You're about to say some shit
I
that's
am.
way out of pocket.
You are better than I am.
Okay, that's...
Also, there are
Man.
people who are better at YouTube than you, and I respect them less.
You have begun research on communism and are now a permanent member of that ideology.
Yep.
Yep.
'Cause that's what ideologies for nations are permanent things once established. You would never have like a democracy fall to fascism. That would never happen.
No, especially not if like all of the no, you know what? I'm gonna,
No, we're just gonna get upset.
let's just lay back now. You know what? I'm not relationships worsen. I mean, I don't really like. Here's the thing: you keep getting into fights with people, and I don't know what your deal is, and I'm pretty busy. Actually, lose my number, weirdo. Mostly, what I'm trying to do is press this next turn button, and my understanding is that you are into other things. Sleep. What's up? What's up?
It's just
Drum set, violence, drums of violence. Just we
this
found the drums
whole
of war.
whole thing where your turn is just basically passing, hitting the next turn button over and over again.
It
It's
does.
either, like,
It does seem like the other players were not told that I'm currently 10 turns from winning the game. Nobody's behaving like I'm 10 turns from winning the game. You know, in Endless Legend, everybody would have gotten a big trumpet blast.
You know, so far I'll say.
I guess okay. Well, that's not fair. Everybody can see the bars, so everybody
Yeah.
should know that I could be building the World's Fair. And the fact that they're not reacting is definitely like a fuck up. I think they should be reacting to that with some degree of concern. I would say.
I would say so far of the 4 games that you have shown me,
Yeah.
Endless Legend is my favorite.
Sure.
Endless
That might just be infectiousness.
Well, so there are things I like about Endless Space more, other than the fact that it turns into soup real quick and goes on real long.
Yeah.
Like, I would love an Endless Space game that was really tight.
Mm-hmm.
But right now, because Endless Legend is quite a bit tighter, I say Endless Legend is like my number 1 so far. I don't know that one offhand. Let me look up this.
Well, we can activate on the palace to grant all land units +3 combat strength in districts. It seems like maybe they're all guys that you activate on the palace for bonuses to military units. Maybe we just gotten quote unquote lucky and gotten 2 of those in a row. Weirdly. Oh, I gotta remember, I'm not spending my gold.
Oh, that guy. Okay, yeah, no. He was one of the members of the Committee of Public Safety.
Okay.
And he was...
It's like an EDM group.
Workers of the world unite. You have nothing to lose but your chains.
The Committee of Public Safety is what did the Reign of Terror.
Ah, yeah.
And was like the governing body. He was arrested, this guy, during the Thermidorian reaction, which is not about lobster. I will not take your jokes and jibes here. Which was the kind of...
That is where I was going.
Yeah, no, I had to cut it off.
Social democracy. Democracy lies at the heart of any true socialism. But I specifically didn't choose democracy. Wait a second. Hold on. Hold on, but wasn't there a button? Wasn't there a button that said democracy? And also, if you choose communism, you can't have that one? This one, yeah, it says democracy right there. What do you mean democracy's at the heart of all the... You assholes!
I mean, the thing is, communism and is not a different thing than democracy. The whole...
Yeah,
the
no.
whole...
Yeah, right. There are two different axes, and yeah, like... But it's like, it's wild.
I mean,
it's wild to me how little interest they even have in holding on to their bullshit distinction. Like,
yeah.
Listen, fucking words mean whatever we feel like they mean, all right? At any given moment, fuck you.
Yeah, I assume that Jacobins are being generated in a random order.
Yeah,
because it feels
yeah,
like they're starting with some. And apologies to all the Ballard Varen fans out there. But they're starting with some real low tier people. We don't have any Robespierre yet. We don't have that little shit who was like who liked to kill people.
The one of them that like to kill people, yeah.
Well, the one who was like Robespierre's like right hand man and would like list the names off in the assembly and was known as the Angel of Death and was like 20. Like, fuck that guy. Like, we don't. I mean, I guess it's good. I guess it's good not to have like the most atrocious. Plus 2 strength to all combat units activated on a palace. It boggles the mind. I can't even.
You could try. Yo, I gained so much population. I shouldn't have pressed this button. I don't know what I was thinking. Amabel, I would like to formally apologize. This is too much population to have gained.
Okay, well, what turn are we on? How are we doing now?
Hold on, I don't know. I can't. There's nothing but clicking population buttons for me.
I'm sorry.
There's nothing in my life anymore.
Don't you love it when a
dots.
game hits a phase where it makes you do stuff that you don't want to do, and it just is one tiresome thing after another? Isn't that what you come to games for?
Okay, let's not be reductive. I'll stand for a lot of things, but... Okay, I think...
I mean, what...
Shit.
I mean, they should have, especially for this late stage of the game, if you want it, they should have a expand my town for me button.
There's probably an AI. There's probably like a
and
take this shit over button.
Just do it all in one go.
There's probably a take this shit over for me button, and I just haven't bothered to click it because who cares? But I guess the answer is I care. Oh shit, it's me.
Because you're clicking a lot more.
It's me. I'm the one who cares. Oh no.
Yeah. 9 turns left. Okay.
This is the thing. They ask me over and over again, hey, do you want to specialize the town? And it's like, yeah, kind of, but in the way that I have it specialized. Like, I'm good. It's not like I just haven't made the decision. It's like I like the one that I'm on. You know?
then they should like just.
And you should be
I
able to
wanna
write.
know-
You should be able to right click things to dismiss them, which is a thing that I miss from the previous Civ games because you can do that in the other ones.
You know, a better way to incentivize someone to specialize towns in different ways, so it's not just a population thing, is to limit what those towns can specialize in. Even doing it procedurally, where certain towns, the population or the geography might push them towards a fewer number of options, and then you actually have a decision to make rather than always picking the best thing for the same. You know?
No, I don't know. What are we talking about?
annihilated the world before your very ears. You will be relieved, I hope, to learn that we didn't mean it.
Yeah, that's how.
That is a
Orson
terrible
Welles
Orson
developed
Welles
it.
impression.
That's exactly how he delivered it.
It is not. I've heard it. That's not true. I've heard that broadcast.
Wait, are there hammers to be had? Ah, hammer. Are there hammers to be had from science? Absolutely, there are. Right, I keep not spending my gold because I think about it immediately after I hit end turn, and then a new turn starts, and before I press the button to buy a building, 16 other things happen. I need to spend gold to purchase
The
building in
tower
Roma.
can live on itself. One can dream there, eat there, observe there, understand there. One can feel oneself cut off from the world, and yet the owner of a world.
Boy, that message was really mid. Does that work? Is that good enough? I was
Wait,
trying to do
wait,
it because that was Roland Barthes, so I was trying to do a medium as the message joke about how his message was very. It doesn't matter. Never mind. Never mind. I didn't
mean-
say anything.
The medium is the message. Is that Roland Barthes or was that Marshall McLuhan?
No, it's McLuhan. What did Barth?
Hey,
What did Barth say that made me say that thing that I just said?
Well, I only remember what Bart's doing is getting slime on him.
Yeah. Good turnaround. Good turnaround. So wait a minute. It's like every time you build over, there's a chance of extra artifacts. How many artifacts did they think you were gonna fucking need? This is crazy. It's so easy to get artifacts. Okay. It's so easy to get artifacts. I have an aerodrome commander who had a promotion. Oh man, there's aerodrome stuff. That's pretty sick.
Yeah. So Barth did a lot of semiotics. So it was about like, signs and what, so I think that it's adjacent. It works.
Okay, but it was McLuhan that I was making specific reference to.
Yes.
You're absolutely right.
Absolutely.
What the fuck is happening over here? Somebody's AI is fully destroyed. Like, why are there 9? Why are there 9 explorers? Now, granted, 2 of them are me, so I'm not immune to criticism here myself. But it is wild that is happening.
But if you have more than one in the same hex, it does it better?
Nope, not even a little
Okay.
bit. That's not a thing at all. Who knows why anything is the way it is anymore? Do I don't have a factory here. We probably don't have like some prerequisite. I'm just trying to make sure that we're having factories for some reason. Why does this even matter? What does it matter? Who cares? At this point, how could it possibly? Do you have a factory? You probably don't even. Okay, whatever. I'm not spending my gold on it. Never mind. It doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is pressing the button. We did it. Get deleted. Congratulations on your fine work. We found some chainmail. Pretty sick. Oh, that's weird. Sorry, an alarm just went off on my phone, which is especially wild because I have never set an alarm on my phone.
I did not hear it. So
I don't know what that would possibly be. Okay. Very weird. Yeah. You know what we're going to do with all of this gold, actually?
What?
Buy Jacobins.
Oh, no.
Or buy a Jacobin every turn.
All right, let's see who they get.
Ibn
next
Battuta,
time.
also communist. It seems like the calculation the entire world has done is it would be really annoying to not be communist, given that everybody else already went communist, and so a whole perfect world of undisturbed communism.
One small twig, combined with others, makes a bundle. The sound of wings.
I got
That's not a full quote. I'm sorry, you can't.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say it seems like you maybe left some parts out there. We got a challenge completed called "This Is Fine," which I'm assuming has to do with my shit being on fire. Do I have a lot of unrepaired things from volcanic explosions? Maybe. You know what, buddy? Sure. Lots of festivals, big festivals for everybody. Absolutely nobody cares that I am winning this game right now. Hammers. And I think that's not great.
Yeah.
Socialism. Police state, +8 happiness in cities while at war. Public works, +30% production towards completing projects.
I think the taking the authoritarian elements of specifically the USSR regime, the Soviet regime, and saying that that's what communism and socialism are, I hate that so much. Hate that so much. That's so fucking lib-brained. And
like, again, this really suffers from the fucking the compression, right? Where they pushed happiness is living space, and also it's authoritarian media control, and also it's the existence of religion, and like they're trying to jam it down into something meaning like people aren't rioting in the streets, but by trying to compress all of those ideas into a single thing with a single cause, it's very upsetting. Etta Palm Delders, what do you think?
Well, she was a Dutch, a spy and an early feminist, so I'm gonna guess it's +2.
Straight to combat units?
Yeah.
Oh, no. Activate on a
okay.
palace or city hall to add 10 happiness to that building.
Yeah. Not.
Feminism.
Not.
We did.
Yeah.
We did a feminism. We did it. Buy me another Jacobin. I'm fucking like.
At least it's something different this time.
I got a handful of quarters, and I'm at the Jacobin like blind box gotcha machine. Because how else would anything in the world work, right? They're basically just fucking Funkos. Why not? So that's Civilization 7, where a world where everything in history is just a different kind of Funko Pop. It's Robespierre. Amabel, we got Robespierre. What do you think? What do you think?
Oh gosh, this could be. There's so many, because Robespierre actually is a really fascinating figure. Horrific things he did.
Yeah.
To be clear, absolutely horrific. But like a lot of. I could go on and on. I'm not going to go on and on. I'm going to assume. Gosh. See, there are no kings for him to be had.
I mean, the closest thing is us.
Yeah.
Do you think he'll behead us?
I don't know. He could build, like... You could have, like, a giant parade about how awesome he is, and then people would be like, what the fuck is going on? Or he could be really good at trying to kill himself and shooting his jaw off accidentally and being in a tremendous amount of pain for the rest of his life, which was 2 or 3 days before he was guillotined.
I think it would be totally sick if he cut our head off.
All right.
And then
What do
for
we
the
got?
rest of the
What do we
game,
got?
every leader has a version of them where they're standing holding their head like in Death Becomes Her or something. And activate on the palace to unlock a unique tradition, Reign of Terror, +3 culture on quarters, but minus 25% growth rate in cities.
See, that's not entirely accurate because the Reign of Terror, while it did claim a number of victims, in Paris, in the city, the vast majority of the victims were like rural poor people out in the country.
But the rural
And it was like-
populations are part of the city. Well, they're not part of the quarters, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, this is another thing too. It's just like everything is a city or a town, and the idea of a small farming community isn't. This game, I'm sorry. I feel like I'm extra bitchy these last 2 episodes, but the incoherence of it is like, well, it's like we said before, because of the new. Okay, Paul Barras, I know. Because of the new stuff that they're.
What is that
sure.
even?
Okay, because of the new stuff that they're putting in, it's all friction.
Are you ready,
know.
Amabel? Are you ready for the end? I'm gonna hit this button, and in theory, we're gonna win the game.
Okay. Yeah.
Here it goes. Wait. I'm sorry. I have a field gun that just finished its movement. Okay. We still have some other field guns that are rolling into defensive
Also, Paul
positions.
Barras shouldn't be a Jacobin because he was the head of the directory that came after the Jacobins. It was a conservative, like, more right-wing, counter-revolutionary regime, unlike the radical left Jacobin regime. So, like, it makes no sense.
If I can't change your heart, I suppose I'm gonna have to take you out of the way.
She does know you're winning.
She figured it out. She finally put it together. Note that I am not allowed to skip this one, even though the stages of it are extremely, like, okay.
Whatever. Yeah.
Doesn't it just?
One can traverse the world laid out in pavilions for the amusement of the crowd, and still be home for dinner.
Is that... You're just describing Disney World. You're just describing Disney World. Actually, it's just Epcot. I mean, like, I like Epcot, but...
Is it Epcot or is it Euro Disney?
I feel like it's Epcot. I don't...
Okay.
Victory. That's the same. Oh my god! Look at the resolution of the picture. It's that image literally just blown up. Like they don't have a higher res version of this underlying. We're like 4 patches in at this point.
Baby.
And that was it. That was our whole victory. Well, I mean, okay, so like some of these games don't do a victory cinematic of any kind. Don't fucking give me legacy points. The game's over. We were the only person who did anything. Okay, Harriet Tubman was starting to cook on that railroad stuff. She was making moves. Harriet Tubman was the only other player in that game, realistically. Let's view the Legends report. How much Legend XP did I get? Not a lot. The bar's not going anywhere. I unlocked a customizable badge with the number 20 on it, and an Exploration Diplomatic Legacy card. What is a card? What in this game uses cards? Do they just mean these are pickable? These are things you can do with your legacy points?
I think
now
so.
in future games, specifically as Machiavelli.
Yeah.
But like, why is it pretending that the system uses cards? There's not cards. Do you think it's a UI element that they just didn't bother to implement all the way? They're really representing these as a thing, like.
No, I mean, I think his trees.
And then the only
for
button,
those things,
the only button left is exit to main menu.
I think those trees for those things, like,
We don't even get to like.
new box.
We don't even get to look at like graphs or anything. It's just go back to the main menu.
I guess.
I guess so. We did it.
Maybe you're a scrawling scribe.
I am. I chose that from some other bullshit that I unlocked. So yeah, now our Machiavelli is level 4. You can get up to level 10. Level 7 is when you begin to be able to make legend choices, right? In the trees. A diplomatic attribute node. There's just like an extra node that wasn't there before, I guess, after a certain point on the tree. Different different keepsakes to bring with you. Oh, a customizable badge. Stuff for your 2K profile that nobody else is ever going to see under any circumstances. This customizable badge and UI stuff, like, so like there are games that do this. A great example I could think of is Apex Legends. But in Apex Legends, where there's a ton of this like badge and banner customization stuff, you see other people's banners constantly. The banners of the players who are doing well in the game are up on big screens that are all over the environment. Whenever you touch somebody's loot box, you see all their banners and stuff. Like, there it makes sense, and it's part of like the in-world like game show advertising element, because it is both a game show and a thing that is supposed to serve as advertising for mercenary companies, right? It's like, look at how good our guys are at doing the thing. And so like branding is literally part of the mechanics of the game. In something like this, where like, who is ever going to see your fucking 2K profile? I guess if you're playing multiplayer with other people and you're not using Steamworks for all of your connection stuff, then maybe. But can you even get this game anywhere else? Is the 2K store? You can buy it on the 2K store, but does it still launch through Steam even if you do? I don't. It's just baffling. Like, why do they care about all this extraneous shit? Oh, I did want to look something up here. So we got a challenge toward the end.
Right.
This is fine. Settle a town directly next to a volcano and have it reach 10 population. Okay. I guess I see how that's that thing. That makes sense.
Okay.
There's a lot of these, and they give XP, and they have star ratings for how much XP they give, or no, how difficult they are, maybe? I guess so, yeah. Complete a full game spanning 3 ages, completing at least 2 legacy paths. That's... we didn't complete a second legacy path in the first era, was it? I don't remember. I feel like we have done this or close to this kind of every game accidentally. There's so many challenges. But a lot of them are just play the game more. Complete the Pax Imperior legacy path. Complete every legacy path 3 times. They're even just like garbage fucking slop generating their achievements and stuff. None of this is authored.
You know, and this kind of meta
so
game,
this stuff at the end, at least
structure.
This stuff at the end is at least kind of like fun character building stuff. As Machiavelli, complete a quest to promote divine self-interest. Sure, like, right? Like, that feels like a Machiavelli thing.
Yeah, I feel like these. No, that guy's shaking his head too. I feel like
he doesn't like being here any more than the rest of us.
I feel like this kind of meta progression stuff makes a lot more sense in a game that doesn't take 10 hours to play.
Yeah, I guess so. The idea is you're gonna play 600 games of Civ, right? They've heard the memes. They know about the memes.
Well, I'm not. Good lord.
Fucking 2K executives in the Hello Fellow Kids posture. Like,
So how did you feel about this?
Amabel,
Sum it up. You know,
I don't want to blow your
what-
mind
what-
here. I didn't like
Yeah.
it. I mean, I think that, like, I don't know. I don't want to be. I don't want to have the reputation that I've earned for being a hater. I want to, like, I don't think I'm being unfair. It's just that, like, fundamentally, there are good things going on here, but almost every good thing is implemented badly. There's like
Yeah.
I like the commander stuff, for like increasing your logistical ability to move groups of units while still maintaining all of the good tile level tactics of the 1 unit per tile combat system, which is just better than mashing stacks against each other, unless your mashing stacks against each other has some more mechanics to it. The people who want it back like Civ 4, where it's just grind the numbers together, want it like that because they don't want to have to be good at combat. They don't think they should have to be good at combat to win. That stuff's like, that's good. I like some of the new designs around. Now I'm struggling to remember. I had a list of positives that I had specifically prepared. Because I don't think it's all bad, but I do think a huge amount of it is, at the very least, badly implemented or badly thought out. And it really is straining against itself in terms of the mechanics and history stuff. The mechanics hate the history, and the history hates the mechanics. And it's worse than it was in Civ 6, and it was pretty bad in Civ 6.
Yeah, like Civ 6, I could get through. Like,
as they keep trying to make the game part more interesting as a game, it's breaking the connection between the two things more and more. Yeah, I don't know. I would love to see a game from this team where they don't feel the need to tie it to history. I would love to see what they would do given free reign to just make up a setting. It doesn't have to be fucking high fantasy. It doesn't have to be sci-fi. If you want to make like a real-ish world, but just with a history you made up and new names for things that you made up or whatever, like, I'd be very interested to see what they could do if they could just unshackle themselves from this idea of prestige and this one particular historical worldview that they are absolutely dedicated to reinforcing at every turn. And I don't know. It's just...
Yeah.
I think that there are pre-design complications in making a Civilization game that make it so that you can't make a good one, I guess, is what I'm saying.
I mean, I would broadly agree, and like, which is why, like, when you ask me, like, well, what would you say to people making Civ? Like, how to, like, I wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I said before that, like, you can't just tell them, hey, don't do that. But like, I guess what I'm saying is I agree with you. That is the only answer. Don't do that.
I will say, on the positive, I feel like now, having sat through, this is like 6 episodes of this we've done.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think so.
Okay, I feel like we're even now. I feel like
this makes up for that time that you showed me Clifford on a date.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
This makes up for Clifford 1994. We're even, we're square, and when you come back next time, we'll be playing something else.
We're going back to... we have a game of Endless Space. We have a game of Endless Space 2 that is 98% completed. This is a really awkward time for Civ to come out. So yeah, when you come back... How
many more episodes do you think there are of that?
Well, I think there's 1 episode of that game, and then I do want to show you some other starts, like just a little bit of a taste of how different the factions are in that game. But yeah, a couple more episodes of Endless Space 2, and then we're on to new things. We're on to some other stuff that some shorter looks at some things that are not as well, you'll see. It's gonna go some interesting places. I'm hoping that everybody will be surprised and delighted. So come back next time for those things. And we'll see you then.